Let's be clear. All Republican politicians are fucking sheep. They're sheep. They are afraid of the big bad wolf known as Donald Trump. They don't give a fuck of what's right and what's wrong. They do what Trump wants. Case in point, what Brian Kemp just did. Brian Kemp is governor of Georgia. He's on his last session, he's in his last term. I'm sorry, last term as governor of Georgia because he's getting term limited out. In 2020, when Joe Biden won Georgia by 11,000 votes, instead of following Trump's lead, doing the false electors. By the way, Burt Jones, who's running, a Republican who's running for governorship of Georgia in the primary, was the one that was one of the fake electors and signed the paperwork, the illegal paperwork that was sent to Washington. But he's running because Trump has changed the narrative here, which is bullshit, because we know the truth. And the truth was, at the time, Trump called them, Ratzenberger, the Secretary of State, and basically told them, find me 11,000 votes. Fix this for me. And they didn't. And Brian Kemp signed the certification for the 2020 election that Joe Biden had won Georgia. Much to something that Trump never forgot. That's why he's still fucking with Fulton County, still fucking with Georgia, 6 fucking years after the election. All right, because he can't give it up. He thinks he won. He did not. But that brings us to what's happening today. So as soon as the Voters' Rights Act was basically ripped apart by the Supreme Court, you saw what happened in Louisiana. You saw what happened in South Carolina. They're doing it in Mississippi. They're doing it in Alabama. They're going to redistrict the states before the midterms. Right now, even Louisiana, they just basically threw out 110,000 votes of people who voted early in the primary already so they can reset the district maps because it's going to stop them. Who's going to stop them? I mean, the Supreme Court just basically say, do what you want. Yes, Jeff Landry, Louisiana's a racist state. You're a racist state. I'll keep saying it because you said it was a false thing. No, it's a true narrative. You're a racist state. Been a racist state since you were invented. You're a racist state now. You are a racist state. That being said, also you're last in everything, life, any kind of business, all of it. You're just Louisiana is just the brothel of the United States. Call it like it is. Where Kentucky is just the the dunce of the United States. New Orleans is the brothel. Yeah, I'm going to call it like it is. That being said, so Brian Kemp seemed to have some kind of moxie, but he's looking to replace Trump when Trump shuffles off this motor coil or he's no longer part of MAGA. He's looking to slide in to take MAGA's spot, to become the leader of these assholes, of the crew. He doesn't get it. They don't like him. He's not Trump enough for him. No one will be Trump enough for him. But that's his plan. And then that's going to lead him to the presidency. Yeah. No, dude, ain't going to happen. But that's his goal. So, in order to placate the Republican Party and the MAGA PUDs, he has called a special session of Georgia legislature in July. Now, the Georgia legislature only meets for 30 days. Every year, and gets through all its stuff, the budget, blah, blah, blah. And then they do nothing the rest of the year other than aggravate the rest of us. But he called it to redistrict the maps. Now, the good thing about it, at least he realizes that to do it now would be chaos. Because we are in the middle of early primaries are on the 19th in 6 days. And the early voting is going on right now. And at least he realizes that he can't do what they're doing in Louisiana or South Carolina or Tennessee. Tennessee is just the drunk uncle of the South. Everything goes. Known to be touching, relatives at certain times. They shouldn't, female. That's Tennessee in the South. Georgia has always been the kind of stand-up, rich, snooty one with all the money. But unfortunately, they're going along with the rest of the rabble. So he's calling this this special session, and basically they're going to redraw the maps for 2028. And just reading the articles of the AGC, it's going to be really tough. What are you going to do? You're going to pull in stuff? Are you going to dilute your other counties with less population to kind of spread out in the metro Atlanta area? What are you going to do? I mean, even the smarter people in the Republican Party know if you redraw those maps, it may cost us anyway. And also, by 2028, there is going to be a different mood of everything. Especially, which more likely, the Democrats take the House. Good possibility the Senate still. Remember, no matter the redistricting these assholes are doing, Senate seats are still general elections. Can't gerrymander those. And there's a good possibility they're going to lose seats in the Senate, especially after Trump's little I don't care about America's finances crack, and they're defending it. I mean, they are going out of their way to fucking defend it. They're lying to us about the economy. I mean, and Susan Collins, you just sealed your neck nail because you just said, oh, I don't know. Yeah, fuck you. You know what? If you're not going to vote for Graham Palantir because you think he might be something, I will say this. You know what Susan Collins is. Simple as that. And if that's all you got to remember. But if you want to vote the other way, then fuck you. You're an idiot. That's the way I look at it. And no way that they're being John Ossoff here. Keep dreaming on. You got nothing. You got nothing. But they're going to do it. They're going to try. They're going to waste our tax money to do it. And we'll see what happens. But I will tell you, since it's a 2028 map, people are going to be ready. You may change some seats, but I doubt it because the economic fortunes are going to change. People are still going to be pissed. Republicans are going to run on culture wars, and Democrats are going to run on affordability. And as you saw in New York, when you have a good politician that can fix things quickly without bullshit, people will stand up and take notice. All right? Don't have to have a whole progressive agenda. You just got to say, hey, we can do this with little changes. We can give you back your health care. Maybe drive down the cost of stuff. Get out of this war that's costing us billions a day. Just, do you want that? Or talk about trans athletes? Your choice. But you know what's more effective right now. So, that's where we're at right now. Unfortunately, Brian Kemp couldn't keep his big boy pants on and dropped them and basically dropped trial and bent over. I mean, it's not going to benefit anyone, but he's got to do it. It's basically like anything that Republicans do. It's for performance, for an act. Because honestly, he's smarter than the average bear. He knows this is a stupid thing to do. But when the ringmaster cracks that whip, you better perform.